Hi, Sharks. My name is Matthew from Ventura, California, and I'm the founder of Trufit Customs. Now, we know it's important for sharks to keep their teeth in their mouth. Well, it's also important for athletes. It's why they wear sports mouth guards. But traditional mouthpieces are big, bulky, and uncomfortable. They're the first thing left behind on your way to practice, and they almost completely eliminate in-game communication. How do we expect these boil and bust appliances to fit everyone's unique dental profile? And getting a custom fit guard from the dentist is expensive and such a hassle. That's why Trufit created a mouthpiece athletes actually want to wear. Each guard is made with the latest 3D print and scan technology. They feature shockwave dampening compression pads, a sleek, slim profile, and are cut so you can breathe and speak as clearly as I'm talking to you now. In fact, I'm currently wearing one.
Nice.
It's no coincidence that over 1,000 professional athletes across the NFL, NHL, PLL, NCAA, and UFC choose to wear Trufit in our game. But we don't just make the best mouthpiece in sports. We're on a mission to bring custom fit to the people. And that's why we're asking for $750,000 for 5% of our business.
Oh, it's you.
Whoa! What's going on? I am Dave, 10-year intellectual property attorney dealing with everything from copyrights, trademarks, trade secrets, as well as patents. Now, I guess this is interesting. If you guys don't know, your boy used to be a former collegiate athlete for the greatest university of all, Michigan State University. You see the jersey in the background. And, man, I remember those days back growing up in Little League where you used to have the mouthpiece. You throw it in a pot of boiling water, and then you kind of bite down into it to kind of create the mold. I'll tell you what, we've come a long way since then in terms of the sophistication for it kind of creating a mouthpiece. And me as a patent attorney, I've worked on tons of these mouth guards where you're, the breathe in, breathe out mouth guards, and kind of make them a lot more custom for your particular mouth. Obviously, all our mouths have a different profile, slightly different profile. So it'd be interesting to see what makes this thing different, the mouthpiece different from others. And a big part of that is going to be, does he have a patent? A lot of times, if you're doing something new and different, you're probably going to be able to get a patent on it. So it'll be interesting to see if he has a patent on his new mouth guard, or at least the process. Again, that's another thing. You can have it on the actual mouth guard itself, like the physical mouth guard, but to the extent that the process for making a mouth guard is new, you can get a patent on the process or the way it's manufactured. So kind of keep that in mind as we go through this. I'm reacting to this thing in real time. So as we go off into it, we'll find more information out about it. But just kind of from a general sense, I know personally from being a football player and working on these things that this mouth guard market is extremely saturated. So we'll see what he's doing to kind of differentiate himself from, I guess, the other competitors. The three things that I typically try to look for when deciding whether or not a company is going to be a boom or I guess a bust or not so successful is how simple is the product. Again, mouth guard is, pretty straightforward, pretty simple. How effective is it? Hey, it's going to be hard to tell during this, I guess from this pitch on how effective it is. Although, you can kind of get that story based on the sales. If something is selling a ton, which I hope it is, if he's valuing this company at $14 million, if it's selling a ton, then that means it's effective. And it seems like he has some professional athletes from football to basketball to maybe hockey that's wearing this stuff. So, we'll see whether or not it's effective. Again, look at the reviews as well. Obviously, if your teeth is still getting knocked out, it's probably not an effective product, but to the extent that he has good reviews and a high number of sales, that will both to the fact that it's a pretty effective product. And then I think the last but most important thing is, what is the market like? Obviously, we know sports this is a big thing. And not only sports, but I think Kevin is probably going to hit it, if he didn't already, something about, being able to kind of use this thing for sleeping and stuff like that, where, now, retainers, sleeping, we're using mouth guards and things of that sort a lot more outside of just sports. And does this product have some applicability to things other than sports? So we'll find out that as we kind of go off into this thing. But it seems like the market, like I said, even though the market is, I think, a big market, I think it's a saturated market. To the extent that your market is big, but it's not a saturated market, then I think he will be looking good as it relates to that. But again, I think the market is a decent size, but I think the market is saturated as well. So I'm not kind of sure how I feel about that at this point in time. So we'll see, man. I think this is an interesting one. Like I said, I've worked on a ton of mouth guard patents, so definitely I understand the space. And then as a football player, ex-football player, I should say, I tell you what, man, these mouth guards have came a long way since kind of me growing up and playing. And hey, these days I was watching a football game, whether it's college or the NFL. It seems like the athletes, at least in football, don't even wear the mouth guards half of the time. You have 2-3 mouth guards hanging out the helmet, and they're not even using them. So I find that interesting. But let's kind of get back, see what these guys are talking about, and love to hear from you guys in the comments. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's go.
His mouthpiece
Where's
fell
my
out.
mouthpiece?
So Sharks, we have some samples for you.
Now, Matt, when I get my grinder for sleep, they laser my
There you go.
mouth to get a perfect fit. Is that how you're doing these? Because how are you going to get custom unless you're getting the exact fit for each mouth?
It's a great question. So
Well, that's why I asked it, actually.
so that impression kit right there is what we use for our direct-to-consumer model.
So this is the gooey stuff you stick in your mouth.
So what you're going to get at the dentist is an alginate impression putty. What we use is silicone putty. It's easier to work with.
But there's a lot of these. You have a ton of competition.
It seems like a solution to a non-existent problem.
Since there's so many already in place,
like,
right?
Is there a reason why you think there was a lane that wasn't being taken by others?
We have a great hold on digital manufacturing. We specifically know how to scale custom fit fabrication.
So when you say digital manufacturing robot, are you talking about 3D printers or actual robots?
The whole thing, 3D printers to the 3D scanning to CNC machining, we can manufacture at such a high level because we're almost like an assembly line. When we're fabricating these, we're able to do it at such high volumes because it's machine to machine to machine to machine.
All this is great, but you have a hefty valuation, so we want to hear about those hefty sales.
Yes, sir. We started in 2022. We did 115,000. In 2023, we did 750,000.
Wow.
And then now this year, we're expected to do 1.4 million.
That ain't worth $15 million.
Now you have my attention.
And how much will you lose?
We will make money.
Okay, good for you.
Matt, you understand you're asking for close to 15x sales.
See, that's what I'm saying. I think these days, man, people, when they go on Shark Tank, they're not even necessarily looking for a deal. They're just trying to get the eyeballs and the publicity that you're going to get, because that's crazy to think that your sales are expected to be around $1 million, and you're going to come and ask for almost $15 million, 14x. It's like, man, I understand starting high and then kind of working your way down, but I mean, even a $5 million valuation and landing at $3 million will still be, I think, a good thing. And act for 14x, 15x. A lot of times you can almost lose your investors by just kind of that type of I guess valuation. So it'd be interesting to see what kind of the Sharks think about it. But man, so far this one is looking a little bit interesting, because on one side, and again, they still some time. I'm not sure if they have anything proprietary at this point from a PAM perspective. It seems like, as I talked about earlier, that assembly line or how it's manufactured, if anything, that'd be the actual proprietary piece of this product outside the actual physical product. But the manufacturing of the product seems to be, or the assembly of it seems to be more proprietary, if anything. But between not understanding, okay, what's the real, what problem are you solving for? Do you have some proprietariness to it, as well as kind of the valuation kind of being a little off? I mean, this one is looking interesting, and I was looking forward to this one as I kind of saw this on the lineup. But let's see if he can kind of answer the questions and kind of resolve the Sharks their concerns here. So let's go back to it and get to it. Let's go.
This is not realistic at all.
Mr. Wonderful, I know that you did your dissertation on the dental industry.
Yes, of course.
And you know
you're right.
there's those three big guys in the room that own the entire market.
Yes.
But the legal landscape has changed over the past years, and it allowed direct-to-consumer to enter this market, which is taking market share from traditional medical practitioners.
How much does it cost you to make? And tell us how much you're selling it for.
Our direct-to-consumer first-time customer is $95. It costs us $31, including shipping. Our CAC is $23. We do about a 4 times return on ad spend. And so even with that CAC, we have about a 40% margin on our first-time customer.
Matt, the valuation is insane. And it's not even like almost reasonable, so let's negotiate it.
Yeah, that's what I was
I
saying.
just don't see it working to the valuation. So for those reasons, I'm out.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. You can kind of lose your investors just based on a valuation being thrown off. And then I guess another thing, are you guys spending $100? Is that what mouthpieces are going for these days? $100? Again, back in the day, going back to what I was saying, throw your mouthpiece in a pot of boiling water. That was $1 mouthpiece. Even with the mouth guards, because you want to look cool, especially in football, maybe $5 to $10. But are we really spending $100 on a mouthpiece? Again, these things get lost. Hey, man, you can quickly lose a mouth guard. So am I spending $100 at a time for a mouth guard, especially when we're talking about at least for sports or athletic purposes. Yeah, I'm not sure, man. Maybe if you're kind of something with the retainer or the dentist and something like, you're kind of maybe keeping track of that one a little bit more. But if I have a sports mouth guard, whether I'm playing hockey or football or basketball or UFC, some type of combat sports, those mouth guards I would imagine gets lost pretty easily. So if I'm spending $100 a pop, I don't know. That's crazy. You guys have to let me know in the comment section what's the most you've spent for a mouth guard. $100 seems to be a little bit pricey, but again, that's just me.
When a guy who just put another $3.5 billion in his pocket said the valuation is too high, it's really too high for me. Meaning Mark. So, with that being said, I'm out.
Yeah. Thank you,
Look,
man.
I'm super torn on this because on one hand, I mentor and I work with over 100 athletes who are not only athletes, but they're investors and they like to get into product now. It's this new generation of athletes. And I'm a limited partner in the Atlanta Falcons. So I'm into the product. Let me ask a question. How much have you raised?
We've raised $1 million total.
What valuation did they put it in at?
$7.5 million.
How many units are you going to be able to make and ship this year?
We probably look to do 20,000.
It's not a lot for world domination of mouth guards.
How are you going to get millions of customers outside of the athlete
So
space?
let me explain.
And
that.
when?
So this year, we have a team sales model that's really budding. What we do is we provide guards to all these teams. They seed the players love them. Then we approach the players for an affiliate
It's
deal.
like
That's smart.
It's
No,
an
that's smart. Yeah,
affiliate
that's smart.
program, right? You pay commission?
Yeah, we give them % of sale.
Okay, I love your deal. I like you. I'm having a huge problem like everybody else about your valuation. Makes no sense at all. So here's an offer for you. I'll do the $750,000. I'll drop my equity ask down to 3%, but you're going to pay me $2 a unit until I get back $2,250,000.
I think that's a bad offer.
It's going to take me 4 years at your current rate, but you get Mr. Wonderful. We do one thing for you and only one.
Mark.
Get your CAC way down. I got millions of followers. I got a massive social media network. Say yes, and we fall in love in the denture business.
Wow, Kevin.
I will just tell you my thought. You're doing things the right way, but I think that your valuation is too high. I would want to see a lot more proof, and it would take forever to get my money back. I'm sorry. I'm out.
Listen, I'm a venture capitalist, and there are two types of investments. There are motorcycles and rocket ships. So motorcycles are common, and they take regular fuel. Rocket ships are rare. Very few of them are made, and they take rocket fuel. VCs sell rocket fuel. So I'm looking for rockets. You don't have the growth rate and the amount of revenue as a rocket, but you have the potential. So you're trying to take advantage of that. And I know why your valuation is 15 million, because someone told you that you had to double the post-money valuation of your previous round, like every other venture-backed company. So I get all of that. So I'm gonna make you an offer.
Okay. Maybe he's gonna make one. Little TiVo action.
That's a game.
Wonder as
RSV or response.
crime. A lot of money.
Yeah.
3% equity and $2 a unit till I get back $2,250,000. That's my deal.
First, don't do the royalty deal. That's a bad deal. I would rather you take
There's
that
never
money.
a bad deal for Mr. Wonderful. That's impossible.
I'd rather you take that money and reinvest it into growth. I don't
100%.
want you to be profitable at all. I don't want you increasing your expenses. I don't want anything coming off top because I want you to grow that revenue and crush all your competitors. That's the venture way, right? So the first thing I want to do is I want to offer you the 750. I want to bring in 10 to 20 athletes as brand ambassadors and or investors. But for that, I want 10% of the business.
The greed. I have never
That's
seen
nothing. If you
greed
say
like
no
that.
to
I
that,
thought I was being generous.
Yeah.
Greed.
If you
Actually,
say no
that
to that-
sounds smart to me.
Would you be interested in doing $1 million for 8%?
Oh, you're going the wrong direction here, man. No, you're going the wrong way. I just offered you things that are worth more than $1 million
I'm a Philly.
because of my
It's gonna
track
help
record. I was an early investor in Coinbase, Robinhood, Ring, Casper, PillPack, Dropbox. I'm literally on the winning streak. So if I invest in this thing is going to catch fire, and you're going to raise money, and you won't have to do anything but kick ass.
About to do it.
Yeah, I'm sticking to my offer, so I need an answer.
Okay. So you got two offers.
Well, we already provide to the Falcons. So, Rashawn, I'd love to do a deal with you.
Let's go. There you go. All right.
Man, good for him. Good for him. We'll take a look at the website. It's interesting that the whole patent proprietary, that aspect didn't come out. Lori, typically, she's the one who asks about, hey, is it a patent? Do you have something protected? I would imagine that he doesn't. That's why it wasn't asked, but which is interesting because a lot of times when you are trying to kind of grow a business, especially something such as a mouth guard, and you're raising money, what are investors buying into at that point? If you don't have this kind of novel proprietary mouth guard, what exactly are you buying into that's kind of keeping others from being able to use? Again, he talked about the fact that they can kind of make these things at a rapid pace. Is that, are you kind of buying into the manufacturing of the mouth guard to be able to kind of the whole world dominance thing, especially if other people can kind of sell the same mouth guard? I don't know. It'd be interesting. Obviously, we know that with these pitches, again, it's a TV thing, right? So just because you get a deal on Shark Tank, that doesn't mean that it's going to kind of make it to the finish line. And I'm actually interested in whether or not, because he still got at a 7.5 or $7.5 million valuation, which based on the sales of $1 million, that it seems like seems like a reach even for a $7.5 million valuation. But you guys have to let me know in the comment section. Would you, again, $7 million valuation, is that right for the revenue that they've kind of expected to do in this year? $1 million? It seems like, again, that's a little bit of a stretch, but that's just me. Again, I love the fact that with the guy, and I have to get his name, what he's looking to do as far as kind of bring athletes in and kind of have them be affiliates to kind of help promote and market the product. I think that's an amazing way, and I'm looking to do that with something that I'm kind of looking to drop here soon from a product standpoint, is having these affiliates that's helping me push the product and giving them essentially a kickback or a portion of the sales. I think that's a great way to help get the product out there, the eyeballs, and kind of increase the revenue. So the fact that he can do that with the Atlanta Falcons, and I would imagine that grows with other sports as well, I think that's definitely going to be a winner. Again, that valuation is crazy. Even what they ended on, I'll be surprised if that deal actually gets to the finish line. But good for him for getting the deal. And like I said, I know he's going to really take advantage of the eyeballs of this thing. Let's go to the actual website here, the future of custom fit. So again, typically, to the extent that you have something, okay, so they have a number of sports teams: the Rangers, the Seahawks, Sacramento Kings, San Francisco. So that's good that they have a number of sports teams. It seems like, football, basketball. I would imagine that it's a ton of mouth guards being sold on a year-to-year basis with all the sports. $95 for a mouth guard seems to be pretty substantial, but that's just me. Typically, if you see something that's proprietary, if they have a patent on it, it will be listed. See, I'm used to the boil and bite. The dentist, I would imagine that the dentist mouth guards are expensive. I was looking to get braces here for my lowers. They said like $1,000. That's crazy. Typically, if you have some type of patent, it'll be listed on the bottom of the website, or that's what I would love it to be listed, and you will find it typically on the bottom of the website. I don't see anything, which again, based on that, as well as the pitch, I don't think that they probably have something on this thing. I'm gonna go to the sports page and see if they say anything about. If anything, I think it'll be probably on an assembly of it or the manufacturing of the product, but they didn't get off into that in detail, which is okay. I understand that they cut these hour-long pitches down to 10 minutes or something. But again, I'm hoping that he has some type of patent on this thing to kind of protect it, especially if you're getting $1 million investments. And to the extent that you don't, if people kind of believe in a product and kind of believe in what you're doing, then it is what it is at that point. Anyway, I will try to have him on the podcast, reach out to this guy. I want you guys to let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think that this one is going to be around, or do you think that, man, it's going to be a tough one for this one to kind of make it out in the shark-infested waters of business? Again, I think definitely simple. The effectiveness of it, I'm not sure about that one yet. In the market, again, it is a market, but it is a saturated market. So again, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Trying to provide you guys not only this entertainment, but the value, particularly from an intellectual property attorney trying to protect the IP, whether it's trademarks, whether it's patents, copyrights, things of that sort. Let me go back to the homepage here. It seems like this stuff, the logo is definitely something that he can get a trademark on. He's not showing whether or not it's a registered trademark or whatnot, but I would imagine that he has some type of protection from a trademark standpoint. And again, that's the big thing with this stuff. You have to protect the IP. That's like, I always kind of make it analogous to trying to build a house. If you're not protecting your IP at the beginning, you're building a house on kind of faulty foundation. But to the extent that you have all the IP that you can get, whether it's a copyright, whether it's trademark, patents, things of that sort, I think you're at that point building your house on a solid foundation, and you can go on and do great things. Again, that's not to say that somebody's not going to try to take your commit IP patent infringement or copyright infringement or some type of intellectual property infringement. But I think the recourse is there, and it kind of helps you out being able to kind of explain to your investors that you have to sue somebody, or that somebody is trying to kind of take advantage of a situation, but you got the IP protected. So hopefully you guys got something out of this video. I will see you guys next time. Peace.